Ooh, I barely just made that. I barely just made that. Hi, guys and dolls. How are you? Can you see me being wholly unprepared for this live? Like, wholly unprepared for this live. Um, Guys and dolls, we're in the middle of a heat wave. And so this live today is going to be short because where I put you guys to do this live is literally on top of my AC, and I don't want to have this AC off for more than like a half an hour. So you guys get me for half an hour before I'm turning the sucker back on and turning into an icicle again because I can already feel the heat making me way too hot already. So there's that. Hi, guys and dolls. Allie here. Uh, this is your first time here. My name is Allie. I am a born and raised New Yorker. I live in Harlem, and this channel is all about my life. And these live streams are just chit chats between you and I, and we talk about whatever we really want to talk about on any given day. So there's that. I'm pulling up my notes now because it is what it is, you know? And this week, I think we're supposed to get into my last video, which I did put in the chat. If anyone wants to watch it, it's the what 6 months on YouTube has taught me video. If anybody's watched it, I hope you have. It was fun to make. It was fun to sort of relive that, relive the idea, how I came about it, relive those first few months where I really had no idea what I was doing. If you ever want to go back to those videos, it's hilarity because those videos are something else. And then we're going to get into tomorrow's video a little bit because tomorrow I finally finished it, my first Q&A. So that should be fun. I collected questions from pretty much every one of my social media accounts, like a few from Instagram, a few from my newsletter, a few from my blog. And I picked 12 that I liked and I answered them, and that video will be up tomorrow. So there's that too. We'll talk a little bit about some of the questions I answered. But again, to those who are just joining, this live is not going to be too long today because you guys usually I put the camera on top of my AC, and we're in the middle of a heat wave right now in New York City, and it's just about 100 degrees, and I'm hot, and I don't want to be without my AC for too long. So you guys get me for half an hour, regardless of like anything, half an hour, and then we're good. Because I need to be an icicle again, and I already feel hot just by being here. How's everyone's week going so far? Has everyone had a good week? Has everyone done everything they needed to do so far this week? I know we're just like at the middle. So it can mean anything, right? I'm still filming that parks video for Maybe Allie episode 5. I want that video out on Sunday. So I have 3 more parks to visit, and tomorrow I'm doing 2 because those 2 happen to be very close to each other. So tomorrow's going to be a whole day, even though I think it's going to rain. I'm not sure if, how much rain we're going to get, or like if it's going to be sporadic, or if it's going to be just like in the morning and then I can go out for the afternoon. I don't know. I just know I'm going to Riverside Park. I'm going to Central Park and then running home because I hate the heat. I hate the humidity. So you can tell I'm having fun right now with this heat wave, right? I haven't left the house in like 3 days almost. Last time I left the house was Sunday. Yeah, because I don't want to go outside in 100+ degree weather. I don't think that would benefit me in any which way. So I've been inside. So a little bit of cabin fever going on there when it comes to, this heat wave. But it's been a while since we even had one of these. So I think most New Yorkers are just we're all figuring it out. And we're all just sticky. Some of us smelly, not me. All together, figuring it out. my week was pretty good. I had a pretty fantastic week. Most of what I filmed this past week, you'll probably see in the July reset vlog that's coming out next week. I went to the museum. I went to like meatpacking district and I got to window shop a little bit. And I went to the Whitney Museum to go see an exhibition I've been wanting to see for a few months now. I ate some good food too. I did early voting. I voted on Sunday. I didn't vote yesterday because I knew yesterday was going to be really hot. So I didn't want to go outside yesterday. And it was all around. Oh, hello, text message. That's a text message. All right. Okay. Yeah, so I just didn't want to be outside yesterday with 100-degree weather, standing in line, all that good stuff. So I just decided to vote early. My husband and I voted on Sunday, and we were very happy with all the results from last night. For those of you who aren't in New York, we had our mayoral primary last night, and Mamdani was who I ranked number one. I don't know who my husband ranked. The agenda was to not rank Cuomo, and that worked out well in our favor. So much of New York, especially the younger New York that is not rich, which is most of us because the rich keep it that way. Anyway, most of New York is very happy with the results of that. And I am too. I've been on for what, 7 minutes, and I already feel the heat through the window. No coffee today. I'm drinking water because you're not going to catch me being dehydrated on this live because I have my AC off. It really is the only place in the house where I get the best sun for these lives. I am still trying to figure out how I want to do lives outside. Maybe, I don't know, maybe tomorrow I do kind of like a mini live for like 5 to 10 minutes and I just kind of walk Central Park or walk Riverside Park with you. That might not be a bad idea. I haven't done an outside live stream yet. I want to, where I'm just kind of taking you wherever I am at any given moment, whenever I feel like it. I just don't know how to do that logistically because I'm not the most techie person. Social media, I'm sure I'm great, but like actual tech and making sure you guys can hear me and all that stuff, I'm not good at. So that'll be a fun experiment, maybe just like a test run live stream tomorrow, and you do it on my phone because usually I do these live streams on my laptop. So it's like a safe, secure, sterile as I can make it environment. But yeah, let's get into that YouTube video that I dropped. Is it 3 days ago now? I think I dropped it 3 days ago. Oh, hello. What's a New York day without some sirens? The YouTube video was called What Being on YouTube for 6 months has taught me. So I've officially been on YouTube for 6 months now. Round of applause there. And that video is essentially the story of how I got here. It's pretty much the story of, why I decided YouTube, why I decided to take the journey, why I decided to start doing YouTube in lieu of like the TikTok ban or like whatever was going on in December, January, then ultimately didn't happen. And my journey and how it's been so far and how I'm doing so far. I am turning out videos like you wouldn't believe. If you saw my scheduled, my scheduled queue of videos that I've lined up, I have 3 lined up already. So like I'm good for the next almost 2 weeks. I just have to finish that parks video, and then we're good here for like a solid 2 weeks, which is, I don't know if that's just me taking too much time to edit or putting too much work into it at this particular moment. I kind of feel like I'm catching up from when I got sick and from when I had the foot injury, and I'm just kind of catching up on staying ahead because I like to stay ahead so that I don't fall into, just like being so behind that I don't want to do it anymore, because that's not the intention. I don't want to not stop. I don't want to stop this at any given moment. I have a set schedule and I want to keep it. And so there we have it there with that. Tomorrow, my first ever Q&A comes out. I'm excited and nervous because I rewatched it, and some of the questions, the way that I answered some of the questions, I wouldn't say they're controversial, but very opinionated, I would say. They're very opinionated about just how personal I'm deciding to get on this channel, how not personal I'm getting, like what I'm willing to speak about, what I'm not willing to speak about, that kind of thing. And then someone asked me about unpopular opinions about New York City, and I think maybe what I've chosen might hurt a few feelings, give or take. It might hurt a few feelings, give or take. So I'm just kind of hoping that like nobody hates me at the end of it. So it is what it is there. I'm excited. That one's coming out tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern time, because I live on Eastern time. So I can't imagine that, it wouldn't be too much of a difference depending on where some of you guys are. I answered 12 questions in that video. Did I get a little personal? Yes. But did I get crazy personal? No. Because I've learned from other vloggers here that you don't want to get too personal, because that is a recipe for having too many people in your life that you shouldn't, especially when it comes to like relationships and stuff like that. Like, my husband exists, but you know nothing much about him, and I intend to keep it that way. So yeah, that one was fun to do. I shot that one over a weekend, which was difficult because I sat here for it, and God, it was so noisy that day. So there might be a few edits in there that are really jumpy and really like apparent and like, but I just couldn't help it with the noise that was coming. Even with like the settings on the editor that I use, it was hard to get rid of like every siren, every horn, every something. So it was difficult there. But I managed to get it. I managed to get it down to like a good solid half hour. So get ready to, have a snack and have some coffee while you're watching that one, because I yap a lot in that one too, much like I did with the YouTube one. But it's informative, and I tell you quite a bit about myself if you're into that kind of thing. And it was fun. It was really fun. But other than that, like I said, we had a date night last Friday. The Whitney Museum does something called Free Fridays every Friday night. If you go on their website and you reserve a time slot for any particular Friday, you can get into the museum for free at that registered time. And so my husband and I, we went, and then we saw Amy Sherrill's American Sublime. She is actually the woman who did Michelle Obama's portrait that was hanging up in the White House for some time while they were in office. I loved it. It was extraordinary. It was beautiful to see so much beautiful work. I only knew of a couple of pieces of her work, the Breonna Taylor painting that she did in her memory, and then the Michelle Obama one. And I was happy that I knew the Michelle Obama painting was there. I didn't know that Breonna's was there. So I was very happy to see Breonna Taylor's painting there, and it almost brought me to tears, because the way that she painted that, she sort of emulated what her wedding dress would have been like and what her engagement ring would have looked like on her. Because I don't know if you guys remember, she was unalived by suits. I'm being careful here because I don't want to get I don't want the stream to, you know, anything bad to happen to the stream. But like she was, if you look up her name, you'll see the story of what happened to her. And she was supposed to get married, and hello, she was supposed to get married, and then that didn't end up happening. So it was just like a reimagining of her and what she would have looked like as a bride. And so yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I enjoyed looking at all the paintings. And then my husband's never been to the Whitney before, so we decided on exploring it a little bit. And so we did. Went to the rooftop, saw the pieces that are on the roof, because they do have pieces on the rooftop. And then we left and we went and had gas station burgers at Smacking Burger, which is inside an ExxonMobil gas station on 14th Street. So that was exciting. Gas station burgers are not for the weak, but I highly suggest trying them because you never know. They're just like smashed burgers. And then they have like doubles and triples and stuff like that. But I had the classic because I'm boring and I don't want too much on my burgers. Let's see. So that was Friday. And then on Saturday, I didn't do much. I wanted to stay home because my feet were hurting. So I just I stayed home. And then on Sunday, we decided we were going to go vote early for the mayoral primary, which only took us like 10 minutes. And I actually spent some time while I was waiting for my husband to vote, like convincing people to stay online because I didn't want them to come back to yesterday and have to deal with 100-degree weather. So that was fun to do. It was actually kind of rewarding to kind of keep people there for a little bit. And so we did that. We voted, and then we went to a place called Corner Social to eat. And I had loaded nachos. Who am I gonna kidding? I'm not gonna hide what I ate there. I had nachos. Best meal, no, but good meal, yes. Like it did the job, but it wasn't like the best loaded nachos I've ever had. You know what I mean? So that was pretty much Sunday. We got home. It was day 1 of the heat wave, so we were already feeling like not great. So we just decided to kind of come home and deal with the heat. You're gonna have to forgive me. I keep getting texts. So that was Sunday, and then Monday, Tuesday, I didn't do much. I really didn't do much because of this heat wave. I stayed home. I had no reason to be outside, so why be outside during a heat wave? Sure, like my doctor says I needed more vitamin D in my life. I can take a supplement. I don't need to be in the sun, not in this blazing sun. And I tan easy, so it was just kind of like it was a no for me. So that was my week in a nutshell. That was my week. I wish I could say I did more, but I think I did enough at the same time. So now it's just to finish out this week. It's just the parks and editing, a lot of editing. I want to make sure that the maybe Allie episode that I'm putting out on Sunday is not perfect. We don't aim for perfect here, but good. So that when you're visiting New York City, you know what parks to visit, or at least my favorite ones, the ones that I love to go to frequently. Guys, it is so hot. It's so hot. For anyone just joining, because I did see a few people join, this live stream is going to be short today, about a half an hour, because where I put you guys to live stream is on top of my AC, which means it turns off when I live stream, and I'm starting to boil. So you guys got me for like a solid 10 more minutes, and then I'm gonna head off the live and put this air conditioner right back on, and probably tidy up the house, clean it, and wash my hair too, because my hair is, as you can see, a mess right now. It is messy and not great. but shiny, which means all the fruits and veggies I've been eating lately is working. I put myself on a different kind of diet because my doctors say my numbers are not great. So it's time to start eating better again, which means more greens, more veggies, more fruits. I talk about that in a video in July. That's probably going to be the only time I talk about my health on this channel because that's not what the channel's about. And so I don't want to create a space where people get to have judgments and say awful things to me about things that I can't necessarily control. Um, a lot of what's happening to me health wise is my fault, but a lot of it isn't at the same time. And so it's a delicate balance that I will speak about once for the year. And I think I decided I was going to do once a year. We just do that kind of video and then I don't have to do it again. Because all I want to do is show you guys my life or aspects of my life and show you New York City. That's it. Let's see. After that, it's mostly vlog heavy this month. So you're going to probably just see me live my life a lot, honestly, because the things that I want to do with you guys, it's a lot of it happens in August when the weather is like really good, really solid, like beach weather. Clue. So I don't really want to do too much in July now. And plus, we're prepping because like my husband has a trip he's going on in July, and so we're making sure that he's set for that. And we're doing a lot of things that don't really need a video per se. So a lot of it's just going to be vlogging like my life or like particular days within my life. That'll be that there. Hi to whoever's joining. Hello. I see these numbers going up. That's cool. Just so you guys know, I'm getting off in like 5-10 minutes just because the where I put you guys is on my AC. And so I'm boiling because New York is in the middle of a heat wave. And I don't want to be with my AC off for too long. Although my light bill will probably love that. I don't. I'm sweating already. As you can see, I'm quite glistening. Quite glistening. Here. Oh, I forgot to close the door again. Guys, I feel like I need a checklist before I go live. Like I need like a proper, this is everything I'm supposed to do before I hit the live button, or else you guys see too much, like how much crap I have in that closet. Like that's just a lot of shit. A lot of stuff in there. Yeah, that's it for that. Showing you a little bit of July. I go into detail and on the July reset of exactly the kind of videos that are coming out next month. This is definitely more so a live about just how June went as a whole, how this week went as a whole. This week was great. Like I said before, but like the month as a whole was great. I enjoyed all the stuff I got to do. What is that? Oh, that is a giant truck. Okay. I enjoyed a lot of the stuff I got to do, but I also, you know, ebbs and flows, waves when it comes to my emotions and how I'm feeling and things like that. And I've decided to make a few people, like acquaintances this month and just kind of sort of really reevaluate who is in my circle, the kind of people that I want in my circle as I continue to move and grow and do all these positive things, and things are finally looking up. Today, side note, fun fact, today is the luckiest day of the year, astrologically. There's a new moon in Cancer. There's a lot of things going on. Today is the luckiest day of the year, so I would say manifest like heck. If you haven't already, I've been manifesting since yesterday. You guys can't tell, but like my altar's over there with the flowers and stuff like that. So maybe one day I'll make a video about those activities, but I don't really see many people clamoring for it. Most people on my Instagram ask me about that. So that's where I answer those questions usually. And we are down to the 5 minute mark. We got about 5 more minutes on this live because I am boiling. Woo! But June as a whole was good. It was more quiet than I anticipated it would be, and I think I like that. I think I like when I have weeks and days that are just simple and quiet because it means that I am not putting anything out there, any energy out there that is negative in any way. That I'm just doing my best with the time I've got going on here. And that's important to me, especially as I get older, to not be so stressed about so many things, especially things that I can't control. I'm learning that a lot lately too, especially this month and probably going on the rest of the year, just kind of going, what can I handle? What can I not handle? What are the kind of things that I can do to make my life a little simpler, but also um, just ensure that I am at peace and that things are zen and quiet. And I enjoy the quiet moments so much more. My phone is so freaking dry. Like no one really contacts me or much anymore, and that's fine by me. I'm just living to the best of my abilities. And for me, that is always going to be a win. Um, I think we're good. I think we can wrap things up a little bit now. um, Next week, Wednesdays at 2, as always, we're gonna kick July into high gear. I don't think I'm gonna be outside for that one again. I think maybe I'm overthinking it. The live streaming outside. Maybe I should just test it and do it. But I don't know. But we're gonna be right back here. So make sure you come back. If you haven't already, make sure you sign up to my newsletter. The link is in the chat, but I'll leave it down in the comment section as well. Check out my blog. I have a bunch of new blog posts up that I wrote just last week. I wrote a lot of them. And even about like my time at the Whitney Museum I wrote about. So go check those out. I left the link in the chat and I'll put it down below as well. And follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. I changed my name on Instagram to my full name, Alessa M. Rodriguez. So I'll leave that link in the comment section as well. I did that because maybe Allie it's the brand, right? It's not me, it's the brand. And so I want to sort of reclaim my name and then separate the brand from the person a tiny bit. So there's that. And I think that about covers it all. Newsletter, website, Instagram. I'm debating a TikTok, but I don't know. Make sure you watch my vlogs. The latest one that I posted about my 6-month journey so far on YouTube is live now. Make sure you tune in tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. That's my first ever Q&A. It goes live. You can put even more questions in the comment section there because I plan on doing another one in a few months. Maybe even update some of the questions I answered there. I'll do an update and put it in the one I'm doing in a few months for the fall. So keep asking me stuff. Don't be invasive. You know the deal. I already mentioned it. So that one premieres tomorrow at 11. And then I have Maybe Allie episode 5, which is the one that deals with that explores my 6 favorite New York City parks. That one goes live on Sunday, and I think I'm going to do 11 a.m. on that one too. 11 a.m. seems to be a good spot for me in terms of time and when people are up and when people are just kind of waking up. The idea is to have you guys like drinking some coffee and then working your way to YouTube somehow and then watching my video while you're drinking coffee and having breakfast. You know what I mean? So 11 a.m. seems to be the spot. Oh, I'm so sorry about the sirens. You know what? That is definitely the cue. I think that's definitely the cue. I'm going to turn my AC back on. If you are in New York City, I hope your ACs are on, or that you're in shade. Or that you're in shade and that you're covered and that everything is good. If you're not in NYC and you're not dealing with this heat wave right now, you're lucky. I hope that things are going well for you. Those sirens aren't going to go off anytime soon. Anyway, I love you guys. I hope you guys have the best week. I will see you guys next week. And yeah. No. More sirens, more trucks. We're out of here, guys. Oof. All right, bye, guys.